get to let's lay the foundation, because I think some of us get confused with the different terminologies. In fact, we hear opioid, we hear tramadol, red. Yeah. Lay that foundation for us. When we talk about opioids, what is an opioid? And also, is that the same as the tramadol? Is that the name? Give us some education, and then we can go from there, because I'm very keen on some of the things you've just said, talking about sexual function, dysfunction. A lot of the youth have used that as an excuse, but from what the doctors tell us, from what you all tell us, in the long run, the reasons for which they are using and abusing these drugs will come back and haunt them. Yes. So lay that foundation for us so we all know exactly what this opioid, red, tramadol, all of that is.
So it's always good to get clarified. So opioids it's a class of drugs that are derived from the opium poppy plants, or the drugs that mimic the effects of drugs derived from the opium poppy plants. So the general term is the opioids. That's the general. So in the medical parlance, oid means mimic. If you say humanoid, it mimics human characteristics. The naturally existing opioids are the opiates. That's morphine, codeine, and terpene. Those are the naturally existing ones in nature. That's what you derive directly from the opium poppy plant. So opioids is the umbrella term that houses all of these, the natural one, the semi-synthetic, and then the synthetic. Now, synthetic simply means it is produced in the lab for
so it's not
purpose.
From the plant itself directly?
So what you mentioned, tramadol and the rest, these are synthetic, strategically produced from the lab for a specific purpose. And it works in a similar way to the naturally occurring ones that are derived from the opium poppy. Now, all of them work to mimic what happens in our bodies. So in our bodies, we have endogenous opioids. That's the endorphins and the enkephalins. That's in your system. They regulate pain, mood, and hunger. Naturally existing. So if you have some small cuts on your skin, you will not need to take a painkiller. Your body has a way of taking care of that pain, your mood, your hunger. But the thing that we all need to know about these things is that the opioids have a higher affinity. It works stronger than the naturally existing ones. It is said they are much more powerful, about 100 to 1,000 times than the naturally existing ones. So when you take them, they're able to work longer than the naturally existing ones. So the endorphins are not as powerful as the tramadol you are mentioning.
Okay.
Now the red you are talking about is something that is not FDA approved. It is a high dose tramadol used by the youth for the purpose of how opioids work. Opioids will give you a sense of euphoria aside the analgesic effect. Analgesic is pain control. So opioids are used for moderate to severe pain control. When it comes to pain management, there's a ladder you follow. There's normal, the mild pain, you use some particular medications, and the moderate, the severe use. Opioids are used for moderate to severe pain control.
Right.
Now, red, high dose tramadol, which is not FDA approved, and is used by the youth, not necessarily for pain, but they're using for the euphoric effect to help them work harder, longer. Because these are hard work laborers. They want to use it for that purpose. And I spoke about to boost their sexual activity.
Right.
That's in the short temporary term. But in the long term, it affects your hormones, testosterone. So it makes your testosterone level go down. So then your sexual function diminishes. And then other negative effects, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. So the reason why they start using it mostly is peer influence. So impulsivity. Impulsivity simply means you do something without thinking on it, without thinking about the consequences. So they start using them by impulsivity. But after some time, then it becomes compulsive use. Like my senior man said, you use it to survive, kind of. Because without it, you're going to have severe withdrawal effect. And to have an idea what they go through when it comes to withdrawal effects, just imagine you have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, joint pain, headache, agitation, irritation, times 10.
These are the withdrawal
effects for people who are long-term.
Please go through that again for us.
Imagine that you have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, joint pain, headache, agitation, irritability. All of these times 10 at the same time happening to you. So they try to avoid this by just going back to use again, even though they don't want to use. So they start using the drug, and after some time, the drug continues to use them.